What's up guys, Ryan Michaels here, and today I want to talk about my list of 10 things that Sledgehammer Games can do to make Call of Duty World War II a better game. And I want to make sure that everyone knows this isn't a hate video. I actually really like playing Call of Duty World War II, but the purpose of a beta is to find out what are the problems with the game and what's not so good so we can fix it before launch. So without a bunch of more talking, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into them. Alright, number 10, the party system. And it's really not too bad of a party system, except when you join a party, you can't see your party members. You either have to stay in the social screen, which nobody does that, or you have to wait until you're in a match loading lobby when you see everybody. Other than that, you don't know that you actually have a party or your friends have joined yet. But that's a really little thing, which is why it's moved to number 10. Number 9, the tab menu system. Now I realize this is probably just something put in place for the beta, but God, I think we can all agree that the thing is terrible. None of us are used to that. It's always been a vertical system for Call of Duty in every one of them. So jumping to a tab system that's really the new craze right now is a little upsetting, and I really hope they change that come launch on November 3rd. So let's move on to number 8. Post-game loading screen. I think we all know also, this thing is way too long. I remember there was a few matches on the first weekend where I was sitting through the post-loading screen where you're seeing the top 3 players and kind of like the after-action report, and by the time it was over, the next match was actually starting. There was no time to change your classes, no time to put on the new attachments you were grinding for. That was really frustrating, and it stayed that way in that lobby until I finally left it, and that was a few games later. So hopefully they fix that one for November 3rd, and I'm sure they already know and are working on it. I think they already said they have been. So I'm pretty confident that that'll get taken care of. So let's go to number 7. The score streak points, I think, need to be dropped. You should not have to get 500 points or a bloodthirsty to get a UAV or recon plane, whatever you want to call it in this game. You shouldn't have to get that much. And I watched a T-Martin video who explained, you know, that could be a 10 kill streak in some game modes, which in hardpoint it would be because you don't get points for capturing a hardpoint, and it's only 50 per kill. So they, in hardpoint, they either need to raise it to 100 points per kill or just lower the UAV in general. The Molotovs, I think, it's an odd choice to put as a kill streak because you're taking a normal lethal device for your grenades and you've turned it into a kill streak in which you have to get 300 points, I think it is, to get, which isn't hard. It's still just, it's kind of a waste of a kill streak. You could have put something way cooler in there, and Sledgehammer dropped the ball on that one. Sorry, guys. And the strafing run. Good God, that strafing run is one of the most useless score streaks I've ever seen. Unless you happen to get everybody when they're spawning, in their spawn, lined up and grouped together, you're only going to get 1 kill, maybe 2. And I've seen a few kill feeds out there, but they're rare and far between. So, I don't know if maybe we should beef that one up, maybe a little bit more splash damage on the bullets. Whatever they could do to make that a little better of a kill streak, I think they should work on it. But this was also my thoughts prior weekend 1 before weekend 2 started, and they gave us the Ordnance Basic Training. Now that is a great basic training. I've been running it ever since I unlocked it. We had to be level 27, I believe, and it knocks down the price of all your score streaks by like 100 or 200. It was really good. It took the UAV down from 500 to 375. So that was a big difference, and I've been getting them left and right from now on. And I think you probably have too. You've noticed there's probably planes in the air multiple times in your matches. But Ordnance is really the way to go if you haven't been using it yet. Okay, let's just go on to number 6, though. Time to go prone is too long. I remember back in the day of Call of Duty, Black Ops, and Black Ops 2, you know, you could just drop shot people, and that was a big thing. The mastering the drop shot was a very key point to being a very good Call of Duty player. And everybody was drop shotting everywhere. And you'd think with everybody wanting boots on the ground, they would have been returning to the drop shot. But the time to go prone takes forever. It doesn't go straight prone. You always have to go through the stage of drop to your knees and then to prone. So in those seconds, they've already shot you in the head as soon as you've dropped to your knees. So I really would like to see drop shotting return, especially since everybody wanted boots on the ground, and all they want to do is jump around corners like it's Black Ops 3. Kind of ironic. Boots on the ground, boots on the ground. Hey, let me jump from here to there. Think about that, people. Moving on to number 5. Incendiary shells should not come preloaded in shotguns. It's a small change, but I feel like there's so much incendiary spam that if you just made them not preloaded, it would be a little better. Without somebody just dying and respawning and unloading 4 fast, spark-filled fire flame shots to your face, let them have to actually load them up. You know, in Airborne, you don't start with a suppressor on your gun, so why am I starting with incendiary shells as a shotgunner? Something to look into there, Sledgehammer. Number 4. Are the SMGs too strong? Everyone's kind of telling me it's a very SMG heavy game, and it is. There's a lot of SMGs to choose from, truthfully, and the PPSH has a lot of spam. Everybody's running that weapon. I personally like the WWII 28. Once you put the right attachments on any of these guns, they're great, but I like the WWII for kill time. I haven't unlocked the Thompson, so I'm not sure how that goes, but people are calling it a god gun. But the PPSH melts everybody, and I'm guilty. I used it for quite a while until I unlocked the WWII 28, but after that I stopped using it and have only been exclusively using the WWII, because once again the kill time for that is a little better, but the fire rate on that PPSH is insane. I don't know if they should nerf SMGs or buff anything else. I really like where they are, truthfully, and everyone just has a problem with the SMGs being too strong. That's not really my thought, but tell me what you guys think. If you think SMGs are too strong, let me know in the comments. I want to hear what everyone thinks. Actually, every item I say on this list, I'd like to know what you guys think. But that's just my personal opinion. SMGs technically are fine for me. I don't think any guns really need changed too much. I mean, you have the M1 Grand. That's a 2-hit kill. The STG is a very accurate and useful weapon I see used a lot. You know, so to say rifles really aren't, I don't know, up to par isn't fair, because they really are. But when you have close quarters maps like we've had in the beta, that's the reason SMGs are so prevalent, is because it's a lot of close quarter combat. Well, SMGs and shotguns, notice those are very prevalent too, especially on Point du Hoc, I think it's called. That is a very close quarter trench map, and there's a lot of shotguns and a lot of SMGs. So one more thing to look at there. For number 3, I'm going to have to throw out the battle chatter in this one. The battle chatter is irritating. The battle chatter gives away your position. It gives away the enemy positions too, so sometimes it's useful, but when you're sneaking up on somebody or going for a flank route, you're running your suppressor for a reason, and you see somebody and your guy just yells out, "Enemy in the bunker! Enemy under the plane!" Just stupid stuff like that, and all of a sudden the enemy team just says, "What was that?" and they turn and kill you. It's a very irritating thing. I think the battle chatter needs to be more of a sub sound rather than a main sound to kind of help you. I'll talk a little bit more about that with my number 1, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. Number 2 is the silencer attachment in general. On Airborne, I love having the option to take on and off the silencer at will, but the silencer should be an attachment option under every other class as well. It shouldn't only be an Airborne exclusive. I think that's a little cheap. I think having the option on or off is a perfect Airborne trick, you know, so you don't have to waste an attachment slot or get the basic training to have a 3rd attachment slot. That's the perk. That's the perk right there, is just having it. But it should be available under every other class. That's just my feeling. But number 1, my very, very biggest gripe with the Call of Duty World War II beta is the footsteps. The first weekend, I heard no footsteps, period. I didn't hear one person walking next to me. I didn't hear one person walking behind me, in front of me. You just couldn't hear it at all. It was all that stupid battle chatter. But the weekend 2, I think I faintly heard footsteps more, and I actually have a good headset. I have a Turtle Beach Stealth 500X. It does have the superhuman hearing mode, and I still couldn't hear people's footsteps. So Sledgehammer, that really needs turned up. The footsteps of enemies and your player just needs to be, that's where your sound whoring comes in. That's where you are able to tell if there's an enemy coming from the right or left without a UAV. It's really important. It's always been there in Call of Duty. You guys really need to work on that one. But that is my list of 10 things that Sledgehammer Games could do to Call of Duty World War II to help make it a better game on November 3rd. If you guys agree with me, give me that like button, give me a subscribe. If you don't agree with me, let me know in the comments what you would change and what you think that your 10 list is, or whatever list. And I'll see you next time.